Shalom, shalom, Salakia, shalom, family, shalom. Hey, first and foremost, gonna give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, and that's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Again, His real name is Yahweh Shai, Heavenly Father's real name in the ancient Paleo Hebrew being Yahweh, which means He is in existence. All right. And not only is He in existence, He is in control ultimately. All right. He's in control of everything. All right. And so thank you for stopping by. If you're watching right now, I'll watch the water for that. Definitely appreciate that. We're going to get into it here in a minute, but if you're watching right now, hit that like button. Okay. Please hit the like button. Please also share the video and also subscribe to the channel too. All right, if you could. All right, we're going to get into it. All right, because I know everybody sees the title. They want to know, why is this happening? We want to know, is there a biblical explanation to it? And of course there is. All right, like the Bible says, right? Right, shall a trumpet be blown, right, in a city, right? And the Most High Yahweh is not behind it? Right, family? Absolutely not. All right. Yahweh is ultimately in control of everything, right? Right. So he's pulling all these strings, right? He's setting the atmosphere in this world right now, right? He's making it tense, right? He's allowing things to bubble up, all right? We're going to get into all of that here this afternoon. So like, share, again, and subscribe, all right? Don't only just subscribe to this channel, go over to my brother, my big brother, Ash Rakar, right? Go over to Ash Rakar, FOG, Fire of God, all right? And subscribe to that page. And also subscribe to FOG Jacksonville too. All right. Okay. And y'all see the email right there at the bottom of the screen. So if you're looking to do the work also, and don't matter where you at, if you're looking to do the work and you're looking for brothers to do the work with, there you go. Hit the email and we'll definitely be in contact with you. Understand? All right. And also, if you want to donate to the cause, to the work, to the ministry, you can absolutely donate right here. All right. And there goes our Cash App. All right. So again, we're going to get into it in a few minutes. But again, if you're watching live right now, please hit that like button. All right. Hit the like button. Hey, shalom, King. Shalom at Rise Up Israel. All right. Khan. So again, the question is, why is this happening? We're going to get to that. We're going to get to why this is happening. What's going on? All right. Why is Israel and Hamas going at it vis-a-vis these are the Palestinian people, all right, and these are Arabs or Ishmaelites, all right? What's going on with that tension there, all right? Are either one of these people supposed to even be in that land, all right? And it's funny how it seems like this may be the thing. I'm not saying that it is, but it looks like it's shaping up that this might be the thing that kicks off World War III, right? And why is that? I got a precept on that. I'm gonna pull it up here in a second. But we want to know why that is. So we're gonna get into that. But before we do, we're gonna talk about some current events here in a second. Definitely pertaining to what's going on here in this lesson, right? But first, give me Give me a second, family. Let me get this precept up real quick. Barbecue shy. All right, family. Let me get it. Willing. Just give me 1 second, family, and I'll have it for you. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So let me go ahead and get it up, man. So, the thing is, man, that the Lord Yahweh, right? Ancient, his name in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, not that Yiddish. All right, which means his name means the Yah meaning he, Hawa meaning exist or is in existence. All right. Right. And why is that important? Why I say that? Because what is Hebrews? It tells you in Hebrews 11, I think it's around verse 5, it says that he that comes to him, right? To who? Who to him? To Yahweh, must believe that he is, right? Because that's what his name means, right? Yahweh means he is in existence, right? So you come to him, you must believe, right? You got to believe that he exists, right? And then that also that he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him, all right? And he will reward you if you diligently seek him, right? If you put the work in, all right? If you don't want to sit on the couch and be content, all right? Right? Because the Lord don't want you couch potatoes, all right? All right, brother. So get up, man. Get up off the couch and do the work, man. And I ain't trying to, knock no brothers out there. You know what I'm saying? Who may not have found an organization that they feel comfortable doing the work with. You know what I'm saying? But man, look, don't forsake the gathering of yourselves together, man. Right? As some do, right? Right? As we see that day, it's approaching. All right. That day is definitely approaching. Right. So let's stay focused on the goal, man. But back to what I was saying, the Most High, he keeps his eye, right? Keeps his eye on that part of the world, right? Because like he chose one people is his chosen, right? He also has one plot of land too that he chose, all right? So that's another reason why, Salakia, why this is going on. All right, I got a precept to back that up real quick. Let me share my screen. Show y'all this right here. Here we go. All right. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 5, right? And it I'm gonna start with verse 23 though. And it says, and said, O Yahweh, that bearest rule over every wood of the earth, right? And of all the trees thereof, right? Thou hast chosen now one vine. All right. So he chose one vine, right? Watch this. And of all the lands of the whole world, right? Thou hast chosen thee one pit. All right. Of all of the lands, right? And this is talking about Israel. Right? One pit, right? Right. And the one tree, man, is symbolic too. So, like if I didn't mention in verse 23 of that olive tree, all right? But the one land is Israel, right? So all of the lands, right? All of the lands on the earth, right? Most High Yahweh, right? He chose one pit, right? And then he also chose the and of all of the flowers thereof, one lily, all right? Lily of the valley, all right? So lily right here, family, all right? Right? Y'all see the lily work right there, all right? All right, so again, right? One pit. So that's why the conflict, right? Because the Lord, He chose that area, all right? And He chose it because it's the best land on the earth. Just to be honest, man, where it's positioned at on the earth, um, especially in that part of the world, all of the trade is going to best go in and out there, man. It's access, you know what I'm saying, to the Med, you know what I'm saying, to the other seas right there in Israel. I mean, it is the best land on the earth, man. And these heathens, they have trodden it down. All right. So that's just the warm up. That's just the beginning, man. Knowing that the Most High God chose the one pit, the one land, that being Israel, Jerusalem, right? Right, the Holy Land, right? Which holy meaning separate, right? Which should mean more because again, holy means separate, and His holy people are separate. They're supposed to be in that land, right? And if they're not in that land, you know what I'm saying, the land is going to lay desolate, lay waste, or it's going to have a lot of conflict in it. All right. Why? Because He keeps His eye on that land. All right. Con. So let's get to some current events. All right. Let's get to some current events. I got some stuff I want to talk about right quick. First, with what's going on, we know that President Biden, that he went to Israel. So everybody knows that he went to Israel, and he was supposed to be meeting with the Arab leaders, right? He was supposed to be meeting with the president of Qatar. He's supposed to be meeting with the Saudi. He was supposed to also be meeting with the Saudi crown prince, right? And then I think he was supposed to meet with the UAB, United Arab Emirates. He was supposed to meet with Egypt. They were all supposed to meet in Amman, right? Um, After his visit to Israel, but then we know what happened with the bombing of that hospital there in the Gaza Strip. All right, with all of those civilians were slaughtered in there. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. But let me see real quick. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to see what we got on talking about the canceled meeting and why they canceled the meeting with Biden. Why those Arab leaders canceled their meetings. And the only thing that Biden could get out of that, his trip to the Middle East, which still, as far as I know, last I checked, was the humanitarian aid that they were trying to get into Gaza. All right. So let me share my screen right quick. Here we go. Yeah. All right. So let's see. President Biden. Let me see. I think I want to do why was President Biden's meetings with Arab leaders canceled. So let's see. See what we got here. Well, that's from 2 days ago. Let's see. Let me see. So let me see who I'm gonna read. I think I'll read some PBS. Let's see. Let's see what they say. Huh? Lord willing, I can read this. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger for y'all too, family. Lord willing, I can read this. All right. So, from a couple of days ago, it says President Joe Biden efforts to tamp down tensions in the escalating war between Israel and Hamas face a massive setback. See, they understand, that it was a massive setback because this whole America no longer has the sway that she used to have with the Middle East, not politically. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I mean, militarily, maybe, but I think a lot of these Arab countries ain't thinking about this whore. All right, right. Hamas faces massive setbacks even before he departed the Middle East. As I said, he went to Israel first, right, in the Middle East on Tuesday, as Jordan called off the president's planned summit with Arab leaders after a deadly explosion at a Gaza hospital killed hundreds. Right now, the people in Gaza, they're reporting that it was almost 500, like 470 something. But the Western media is reporting that it was between 1 and 300 people. All right. So keep that in your mind, right? Biden now will visit only Israel, will postpone travel to Jordan. Postpone, they canceled the meeting. A White House official said as Biden departed. The postponement of the Amman summit comes after Palestinian leader Muhammad, however you say that, Abbas, withdrew from the scheduled meeting in protest of the attack. Right, so that's the acting president for the Palestinian people, which the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza blamed on the Israeli airstrike. All right, so the Gazans say that this is Israel doing this. All right, that Israel flattened that hospital and killed all them people. The Israeli military said it had no involvement and pinned the blame on the misfire of Palestinian rocket. They're blaming the Islamic Jihad group, all right, for the attack, right? The war and the aggression are pushing the region to the brink, right? Ahmad Safadi, Jordan's foreign minister, told Al Malaki TV, a state-run network, all right? Right? He said Jordan would only host the summit when all participants agree on its purpose, which would be to stop the war, respect the humanity of the Palestinians, and deliver aid. See, them Arab countries, them Arab countries around Israel. You know what I'm saying? Many of them, they've normalized relations with Israel. I think Egypt. I think they did it in 19. I think Egypt did it in the 70s, and then Jordan did it in 1994. And then you had the Abraham Accords from a couple of years ago, which had I think countries like Qatar, and then this was supposed to be Saudi Arabia's year, where they normalized relations with Israel, and that's supposed to be a big deal, but that's not about to happen now. But all of those countries, right, that either have normalized relations or have some type of treaty in place with Israel, Biden was supposed to meet with them. They all canceled it after this rocket attack. All right, so the rocket attack again hit a hospital with civilians in it. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all can look it up for yourself because I want to get through this. But there's a video circulating around of I think it's an Israeli soldier saying, and it's also a video of the I don't know if it's video of him directly or somebody talking about it because I believe he died in the explosion. But the administrator for the hospital in Gaza that got hit, he said that he spoke to somebody in the IDF, that's the Israel Defense Force, right? He said he spoke to somebody in the IDF, and they said, "Why didn't y'all leave or evacuate the hospital? We gave y'all warning twice." Now, I'm not saying that Israel is behind that. Okay, I don't want to take my channel down. I'm not saying Israel is behind the strike. That's not what I'm saying. But I think that that's fascinating. That's what the administrator of that hospital allegedly said. that they were warned twice to evacuate the hospital, and then it was hit. And then it's also a video of our I believe it might even be an audio of it, where the Israeli soldier. I think he tweeted it. And then it got took down. Where he tweeted that we hit the hospital because they were terrorists in there, and they were warned. Whew. Man, oh man. All right. So again, that's why it was canceled. All right. So let's continue. Let's read a little bit more in this article. All right. I don't know why this looks like that. Let me see. There we go. That's better. Somebody should in the comments, man, should have said something, man. If you're watching live too, man, and you like what you're hearing, man, all right, man, drop a bomb emoji in the chat for me, all right? Salaki, I lost my spot. Let me see. Where was I at? This is not what I was reading. Oh, yeah, it is. Maybe it is. Salaki, where I lost my spot. Biden visit. All right. The postponement of the Hamas summit comes after the. I already read that. The Israel military said it had no involvement in pinning the blame on the misfired Palestinian rocket. Right? It said this war and this aggression are pushing the region to the brink. Right? Absolutely. Jordan's foreign minister told Malaki TV, the state-run network, he said Jordan would only host the summit when the participants, they agree on the outcome. Right? I read that. The cancellation reflects the increasingly volatile situation that will test the limit of American influence in the region. Biden's visit. See, they know that the American influence is waning in that region. They don't really have no influence, just to be honest, in that region. All right, just to be honest. Okay. All right. I'm gonna talk about. Look, they have no influence in that region. Why? Because they back Israel, right? They back Israel no matter what. And all those Arabs, right, and those Persians, right, and those Hamites, man, that dwell around there, they're not feeling, they never were, right? We have to remember, before 1948, the Balfour Accords, right, which put those people in that land, right, it was called the land of Palestine. It was a great deal of pride on the land of Palestine for the Arab people, right? And that's why it's been so much tension. That's why in 1948, the president of Egypt said that there'll never be peace there because the real Israelites left black, and then you Zionists came back white. And that's why all of these nations, right, especially nations like Iran, right, and the organizations like Hezbollah, Hamas, stuff like that, they call these Zionists. And a lot of these other nations, they call them Zionists behind closed doors too. A Zionist is a movement that's based on the protection of Israel. All right, and it came up after those Jews over there in Austria during World War II. All right, so they refer to Israel like nations like Iran, you know what I'm saying, other nations, Istanbul, you know what I'm saying, some of the other smaller Arab nations, right, who don't have normalized relations with Israel. They call the land Palestine, and they call them Zionists because they know that they are imposters. They know that they are not supposed to be there. All right? You have to understand, in 1948, basically all of that land was Palestine. You had some Israelis, the jig was already in because of what happened after World War I, right? Which is the British mandate, where the British Crown decided to take a look at the Holy Land, right? And how they could potentially divide it up. I'm gonna get into that a little bit more a little bit later. I don't want to get too deep into that because I got some points I want to make on that. But just understand that's the kind of a brief synopsis of what's going on in that region, right? In particularly between the Arab Palestinians, right, and the Israeli occupying force. That's why Iran calls it an occupying force. That's why other smaller countries, they call the people there are occupying force. That's why they're saying free Palestine, all right? because they believe that the land has been occupied, which it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, truthfully and honestly, don't neither one of those people have a right to that land, right? You know, but you know, in modern terms, you just have to understand before 1948 what was going on there and how they just got pushed further and further and further out that land. It's an abomination. All right, what they did to them. Why they have, I think it's almost 4 million people living in an area that's like maybe twice the size of Washington, D.C. It's like 30 something miles long, the Gaza Strip, right? It's the most densely populated place in the world, and they are bombing it. All right? Bombing the heck out of it. It is definitely a humanitarian crisis down there. All right? Right. So after the bombing, right, of that, let me take this down right quick, fam. No, that article. So now after that bombing, right? Let's lock in. Of that hospital. All right. Again, so we saw that Biden's meetings that he was going to have were going to get canceled. And what he was going to try to do in those meetings is probably more than likely try to set up more humanitarian aid getting in, negotiate with these countries to let refugees in. Okay? To let the refugees come in. But like the president of Egypt said, he ain't letting no refugees in because the Palestinian people need to be in their land. He was like, this seemed to him, basically he was saying this is like a plot to get the rest of the Palestinians so that those Israelis can take the rest of the land. And he was like, no, that is not happening. There will be a Palestine. So he said he not letting nobody in. All right. So again, hit that like button. All right. Don't just stop by and don't hit the like button. All right. Drop the bomb and the fire emojis in the chat for me too. Watch the water for that when you do. All right. Okay. Drop them bombs in the chat. All right. And then I'm going to continue. All right. Like, share, and subscribe too. All right. Like, share, and subscribe. Family. All right. So, as I was saying, the meetings were canceled, right? And then, right, Iran. If y'all know, let me see if I can find it. At the same time, Biden was in Israel. Iran was meeting with the leader of Hamas, right? And I believe it was I think it was in Jordan too, right? Where Biden was supposed to have his meeting at, right? So they just, straight up disrespecting him on the world stage. So again, now after the bombing of that hospital there, the protests have erupted through the Middle East, right? Or Salakia, or West Asia, all right? So in all countries, like Istanbul, they tried to get the they've tried to run up on the embassy in Istanbul, all right? In Beirut, Lebanon, right? They tried to storm the American embassy and the Israeli embassy, and they set fire, I believe that was in Beirut, to the consulate there. They set fires in Jordan around the Israeli embassy. All right, and there's protests all throughout the Arab world. Right, it's going down. Not to mention that the Hezbollah in Lebanon, that's the northern border, the Gaza and the Hamas, that's on the southern border of Israel. Right, not to mention that the Hezbollah, right, is saying that they about ready to enter this conflict at any time. All right, they said that if Israel invades Iran, and Iran said this too, if Israel invades Gaza with with ground troops, they said that they're gonna enter it. And if they enter it, you know what I'm saying, then you could potentially have all of the BRIC nations. You could have World War III right there, right? Potentially, all right? So that's why we're watching this intently. All right, but again, these protests all throughout the Arab world have broken out. I mean, they're setting fires. They're trying to storm the embassies and the consulates all throughout the Arab world, all those Arab countries. All right, and all of those Islamic countries too, because Iran is not Arab. It's an Islamic country, but those are the ancient Persians there that dwell there. Just like India, India is not an Islamic nation, but those are Elamites. All right. So, as I was saying, the Hamas and Hezbollah, you know what I'm saying? Those are the main two problems for Israel right now. Hezbollah being backed by Iran, right? So if Hezbollah get into it, that's Iran's proxy. You can basically say that if Hezbollah is getting into it because they invade, basically Iran is in it too. All right. So what about the rest of the BRIC nations? What's going on with the BRIC, right? That come to terrorize. If y'all watched my last lesson, as it tells you in Zechariah, when you read Zechariah, I believe that's chapter 1, verse 16, right? That it says that the four carpenters, right? That's the BRIC nations, that they come to terrorize the four horns, right? That's the four beasts, or that's the fourth beast, America and her allies. All right. And that includes the state of Israel, right? That them four horns, they come to terrorize. All right, so what's going on again with the BRIC nations? So we got Russia and China. Vladimir Putin, you know, he hasn't been traveling much because they want to lock him up, you know what I'm saying, for alleged war crimes and things like that. So he hasn't been traveling much. He was just in China, right? Meeting with Cheng Yingpi, however the heck you say his name. That's the president of China. All right. And what did they say about the conflict over there in the Middle East? They said that the only way to have a resolution, which I think is actually fair in modern terms for what they could potentially accomplish, right, is that they go back to the original line drawn during the 1948 Balfour Accords as a starting point, right? Right, because why did the Israelis, they signed it, by the way, and then look what they're doing to these people, right? The stealing of their land and the straight up genocide of those people, right? Right. So that's what they say. They say go back to that as a starting point, and make sure. And it says the only way for it to be fair is that there's two states. There's got to be a state of Palestine and a state of Israel. All right. India. India basically said the same thing. They want a ceasefire, you know what I'm saying, and they want the humanitarian aid to come in. They don't really like how Israel is handling it with the intensive bombing of the Gaza Strip. Shout out to my brothers in the Sakari. I think I heard the brother Hassad bringing this out the other day that Israel has dropped, I think it's like 5,000-6,000 bombs on the Gaza Strip. Huh? Right? That's more bombs than America dropped in Afghanistan and Iraq in the first year of those conflicts. They said, I think he said that it was like the power amount of power of those bombs that they dropped is like a quarter of a nuclear bomb. And that's the weakest nuclear bomb. That's like what they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right, but that's like a quarter of that. Then they done already hit Gaza with that. Destroying the land, too, of Israel, bro. That's part of Israel. That's our land, by the way, too. And that's why in Revelations 2, man, I'm going to get that, man. I'm going to hold that, man. But that's part of why this is happening. All right? Also, Venezuela, they're sending aid to Palestine. The president of that country, he said that he blames Israel for the bombing of that hospital. All right. And look, and by the way, before I really start getting into the topic, hit that like button, like, share, and subscribe. All right, like, share, and subscribe, man. Drop them fire emojis in the chat for me too. All right, family. Drop the fire emojis in the chat. All right. All right. So I was saying the president of Venezuela, right? Again, he's sending that aid there, and he doesn't. He blames Israel for what happened with the bombing of that hospital. Now, I want to talk about real quickly about what happened with the flattening of that hospital and who's behind it, right? This is stuff that they don't want you to know because you're not hearing this in your local news, right? If you're watching like CNN, Fox News, NBC News, BBC, or whatever, right? All of the Western countries, they're reporting that America and Israel have confirmed that it was the Islamic Jihad. That's another so-called terrorist organization that operates in Gaza. All right, that's who they're blaming. They're saying it's a rocket misfire. Now, I spent all day Tuesday after it happened, basically, and yesterday, because I wanted to come and report, but I just wanted to wait, you know what I'm saying, and let it develop a little bit more, right? Sometimes that's what you got to do, family. You can't rush it. Let it develop, right? Right? Like when you're trying to, when you're courting your lady, man, right? When you wooing her, trying to get betrothed to her, right? Right? That's what that means, the woo, right? When you laying your game down, man. You can't rush it, man. You gotta take your time, right? Take your time. Don't rush it, my brothers. All right. If you're a king, right, she gonna want to be with you. But that's another story for another day. All right. But so I spent all day Tuesday after the news broke, and then all day basically Wednesday, right? Looking, right, to see what the international community was saying about things, right? Now, if you look at the Western world, right, all like the EU, Germany, the UK, because the UK, and he's an Arab too, I believe. But I gotta look more into it. He has an Arab name, but he might be just an Edomite. I'm not sure. But the Prime Minister of the UK, he was just over in Israel, and then this President Netanyahu says, not it's great to support Israel, but it's even greater to be in Israel, supporting Israel. I'm thinking to myself when I heard that, man, the Lord gonna get y'all up out of that land. But again, I digress. All right, but right, like countries like India, you know what I'm saying, who's a world power, right, and part of the BRICS, right? They're a player in this thing. They said that most of these other nations, right, besides the European Union nations, right, like most of the nations, most of the countries in the United Nations, they're not ready to say that it was a misfire of a rocket. And I'm going to tell you why. This is what they don't want you to know, right? Drop them bombs in the chat, man, before I get this up, yo. All right, man. And the fire emojis in the chat, and hit the like button, man, before I tell you what they don't want you to know. All right? I might drop the link to the video from First Post. It's from it's an Indian-based news organization. This is where I got the information, some of the information from. All right. But in particularly what India is saying, which India is part of the BRICS. All right. Drop the fire emojis up in the chat. All right. Drop them bomb emojis up in the chat too. Watch the water. All right. And definitely hit that. Definitely hit that like button. Like, share, and subscribe. All right, man. Share it with your mama. All right. Share it with your brother. All right. They need to hear this. All right. They need to know what's going on in this world. All right. And especially if your brother, Captain Azariah, man, if I'm speaking good, man, and I'm bringing useful information to you. That's the goal here, man, to bring the useful information to the people, keep you informed. And of course, we're going to tie all this back into the scriptures too. All right. That is a most definite. All right. Appreciate the the bombs and the fire emojis in the chat. Watch the water. All right. So, like I said, I had spent Tuesday after it happened Wednesday, looking. So most of again the world, besides the Western power, or besides America's strongest allies, all right. And then remember, you got countries like Turkey that's part of NATO, and Turkey is not ready. Is not ready. That's right, man. Get them likes up. All right, let's get them likes up too, man. All right. A country like India, and again, a country like Turkey. Turkey is part of NATO, right? They're not willing to confirm that it was Islamic Jihad, that it was a rocket misfire, and I'm gonna tell you why, family. This is what the American media is not reporting. You got to do your research to find this stuff out. All right, got to put the work in. All right, be diligent, right? Okay, the Lord put the Spirit on you to do that, right? That Holy Spirit. All right. So they don't believe the reason that hospital was flattened when you look at the before and after pictures. They don't believe that the Islamic Jihad group, or maybe not even maybe the Hamas, has a missile or a rocket powerful enough to do that type of damage to a hospital. That's what the Indian foreign minister said. That's why countries like Turkey, Saudi Arabia, UAB, Jordan, Qatar, Istanbul. That's why countries like this are not ready, right, to say that it was a misfire, a rocket misfire. They don't believe it. They're not buying that. And by the way, also, let me see. I think Israel hit. Let me see how many in this conflict already. Let me see if I can find it. Look it up. I think it's like maybe like 30 something hospital or medical centers that Israel has already hit bombs. Hello, family. Do y'all hear me? Let me see how many hospital or medical centers have been Israel. Let's see if I can find it. I heard talking about it. Let me see if I can find it, family. Oh, look at this. This is oh my. Let me share my screen. Oh my Lord. Look at this, family. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Y'all see this, family? Can y'all see that? And this is also part of the reason why nobody began besides Israel, America, and America's allies like NATO and the EU, right? None of the rest of the world is buying that yet. Nobody's buying that garbage, bro. And the American media don't want you to know this. All right? They don't want you to know this. It says at least 20 hospitals in Gaza City and North Gaza and one hospital in Rafah province have received separate evacuation orders. That's like I was telling you. That hospital that got hit in Gaza, they got an evacuation order. And then they're trying to act like it was a mistake that, or it was Islamist Jihad, right? Another group that operates, alleged terrorist group that operates in the Gaza Strip, right? It says at least 20 hospitals in Gaza City and North Gaza and one hospital in Rafah have received repeated evacuation orders from the Israeli military. And 77 attacks have been documented in the West Bank. 43 of these attacks have caused physical violence to health teams. So why should any other nation believe you? Is it beyond the realm of possibility that Israel could have hit this hospital? Most of the world thinks that it's not. Okay? I'm just saying, look at that right there. All right? Look at that. Man, look at that. Crazy, man. Straight up. And again, this is what they don't want you to know. This is what your meter is not telling you, right? And you gotta you want to have the urge to look this stuff up, but then when you look, the rest of the world, they're seeing all of these attacks that they're hitting medical centers, that they've hit hospitals, claiming that they got intel that they're terrorists operating in these places, and then they hit it indiscriminately. They've dropped a quarter of a nuclear weapon on the Gaza Strip already. I think it's been like 14 days or something. And that's why these Arab countries, man, that's why all of the people are hitting the streets. Although a lot of these leaders in these countries, they may have in like places like Jordan, in Egypt, that they may have normalized relations with Egypt because they share a border with them for, economic reasons. That's why they do these things. But the people in those countries are still very pro. These Arabs and these Islamic people, right? They're very that's mostly Hamites and Elamites. They're very pro the Palestinian people and their cause. And I agree with the cause because of what I would call a genocide that's going on there, right? And how they've been pushed those people out their land, right? It's no different than what they did to these Edomites did over here in America to the Northern Kingdom. It's no different. They pushed them completely out of their land. That's the same thing they did to the Taino Indians, man. That's the Northern Kingdom, man, and all the tribes. What do? They got to live up. I think that's in Montana, where Mount Rushmore is at. It's a reservation right under all of those heads of those founding fathers. Those great are supposed to be American presidents. They got to wake up on their land that's theirs, right? But even the portion that's carved out for them, and look at their oppressor. They've carved into the mountain. And then you wonder why you look up the stats, why those people suffer from drug addiction, why people suffer on those reservations from high drug addiction and alcohol addiction. And then you have some flunky probably come on this channel and say, but they're not Israelites. All right, man. We're not here to have that conversation right now. All right, but it's no different than that. It is a genocide, a theft, and an occupation, right? And even if you go to the Balfour Accords, which they had no authority for no Balfour Accords anyway, right? The British mandate is a bunch of nonsense. All right, like I said, I got some more on that here in a little while. But again, look how many attacks they did on medical centers and hospitals since this conflict has started, and you think that people gonna believe that? That's why, again, most of the world is not buying that. All right? Okay? All right, so we're going to continue to watch it and see if there's any more evidence. But the only evidence that has been provided so far is alleged intercepts between Islamic Jihad and Hamas, right, where they say a rocket misfire, which independent sources can't verify. Military experts, right, outside of America and the EU, the Western powers, right, they say they can't verify that audio, right, that is unverified, and that they don't believe that organization, that so-called terrorist group, has the capability or has a bomb that powerful that can flatten a hospital. Okay. So now, right, we talked about that. I want to kind of start getting to the main point, family. All right. But first, I do want to talk about how it's quite obvious too, right, that there are war crimes being committed, and by large, the Western media may talk about it briefly, but they're not really acknowledging and letting you, right, who are watching. Most of us are American citizens, right? So we should have an understanding of this, right? So your brother ass and Captain Azariah is here to drop that info on you. I'm gonna get you informed. All right, family. I'm gonna take care of you. So, war crimes, right? What type? And that's what you may hear the Palestinian people they're talking about, especially the leaders of these Arab countries. They're talking about, right, the war crimes. Like they ain't about to meet with Biden till the war crimes is addressed and all that. All right, and they said that if this continues, man, that it's going to spill the whole region into a massive conflict. All right, that's going to spread throughout that whole region, throughout the Levant. All right. So let's see. War crimes, man. Under the Geneva Convention, right? Under the Geneva Convention, we know what they've done, right? They cut off the water and the electricity to the Gaza Strip. Can you do that in war? Is that legal to cut off water to the civilian population? Right? And again, like I said, I was watching my bros over at the Sakari too a few nights ago. And I think it was again the brother Hassan, shout out to him. He was sharing the video where it was showing the Israeli soldiers cutting the pipelines to for water to the Gaza Strip. All right. Straight up cutting the water off. And they cut the electricity. Right? Right? They said that they're gonna bombard them. Right? And I also saw a video, I think that was I can't remember who shared it, but I saw the video where I've seen this guy on the news a lot. I think he's one of the higher ups in the IDF. He says that their war is with the civilian population who don't look at them as human beings. That's what the high-ranking Israeli soldiers said who go on TV and talk on Fox and all that, right? He said that. He said their war is with also not just with the Hamas, but it's with the civilians who don't see them as human beings. Maybe they don't see y'all as human beings because they see y'all as an occupying force who invaded their land, who don't got no right to that land, and who've committed genocide and all type of atrocities, war crimes. Could that be it? Right? There's definitely war crimes being committed. Right? Let's prove that real quick, right? So let me share my screen. Family, let me share my screen. Let's see. Yep. All right. So, Lord willing, everybody can see that. All right. Yeah, hey man, right. No power, no water, no hope. You know, but I'm gonna tell you something, right? Those Israelis, man. Excuse me, those Arabs, right? They're not just about to lay down. All right. They're not just about to lay down, man, and take it. Let me see. Right. See, this is in the Atlantic paper, right? I don't know if y'all can Salakia, let me share my screen, right? Right, he said no hope, right? Yeah, them Israelites, they ready. I don't know if y'all can see this, how clear that is. Hold on 1 second. Right. But that says, right, is Israel walking into a trap? Right? Right? Might talk about that another day. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch it develop. But is Israel walking into a trap? It said that those Palestinians, those Arabs, that they have a sophisticated tunnel system. All right, but look at this. Right, it says the Fourth Geneva Convention. That's the convention that governs practices or how war is conducted here in modern times. So the Fourth Geneva Convention. This is Article 55. Right. Let's see if the Israeli have violated this. It stipulates that to the fullest extent of the means available to it, the occupying power in this case would be the Israeli military, the IDF. All right, has the duty of ensuring what? The food, medical supplies of the population. This article strengthens the rules as regards water supplies and the obligation it made absolute. And I think that's Article 33. I'm gonna get that here in a few minutes, right? Article 33 says that they cannot cut the water off, but I'm gonna get that, right? So this is part humanitarian aid. These are those trucks in which 20 trucks full of humanitarian aid with like 2.3 million people, right? Waiting on that aid. That's not going to do anything. And they said that they're giving these people time to evacuate. They have 2 ways to exit out of the Gaza Strip. They got 2 roads. And is Israel not Israel's bombing those roads too? Why are people trying to leave? The Israeli forces. War crime, man. They're not allowing. They're not allowing any aid, any humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. And the occupying power, which is Israel, is supposed to ensure that these things happen, even during war. But you won't hear your president talk about that. Oh, man, the hypocrisy, man. So thick, man, with these people. All right. So that's one of the war crimes that they've committed. All right. That's just one. All right. Now let's jump over. I got another this is international for international rules of war. I think this is under the Berlin. Let me share my screen real quick. Salaki, I gotta share a different portion of my screen. Hey man, again, hit that like button if you're watching too. Man, hit that like button, man. All right, man, and do me a favor, man. If you're enjoying this lesson so far, man, drop a fire emoji in the chat for me, fam. All right, drop them fire emojis in the chat for your boy. All right, let me share my screen again. I think this is what I want. Yep, I might need to make this a little bit bigger for y'all. Not that big. I think that should work right there. All right, yeah. All right, so this is the Berlin Rules on water. The source is Berlin Rules on water resources adapted by Resolution Number 2, 2004-71 Conference on International Law Association held in Berlin. All right, so this is international law on it, and this is Article 50 right here. Right, this is Article number 50. Right, it says combatants shall not poison or render otherwise unfit, right? See that? Just like Hassad showed. This is also in the Geneva Convention too. Like I was telling y'all about, that they was cutting off the water, right? They cut off the water and power. They're not supposed to do that. The occupying force, the combatants are not supposed to do this, right? But nobody cares because this is a melanated colored people. I'm just being honest. That's why the Western world don't care. Right? That's why the Americans don't care. All right? Right? They don't care what the white man does to the colored man. They don't care. If it was the other way around, I like Israel. Oh my God, look at these terrorists and how brutal they are. And BB, net an idiot, is calling it barbarism. But who the biggest barbarians? Look what y'all doing. Look what their ancestors did. Your ancestors are nothing but barbarians, man, and murderers, man. Especially of the real children of Israel, right? You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, it's your land. All right? Right, but it says combatants shall not poison or render otherwise unfit for human consumption, water indispensable for the health and survival of the civilian population. Right, of course, water is indispensable, right? So I'm going to read a little bit of this commentary. It says the prohibition of poisoning of drinking water is a rule of customary international law, right? Of course, that is. Let me see. I'm going to go down a little bit. There's another article I want to show. Another article I want to show. Hold on one second. Let me go down. Yeah, Article 51. This is what I want right here, too. All right. All right. So, let's see. This is Article 51. This is under international law. Again, this was adopted in Berlin. But there's similar stuff in the Geneva Convention. This is just international law right here. It says, this is Article 51, targeting water or water installations, right? It says combatants shall not for military purpose or reprisal. See that? That's what the Israelis did. They broke. Why is there no outcry? These guys should be prosecuted in international courts, right, for what they're doing to those Palestinian people. All right. They shall, for military purpose or any reprisals, destroy or divert water or destroy water installations. And such actions would cause disappropriate suffering to civilians. We're still gonna find out why this is happening too, family. Oh man, let me see what time it is too. Oh man, I gotta get to it. Let's finish this though. It says, in no event shall combatants attack, destroy, remove, or render useless water and water installations indispensable for health and the survival for the civilian population if such actions may be expected to leave the civilian population with such inadequate water as to cause death and lack of water or force its movement. So you're not supposed to do that, right? You can't do that to the civilian population. All right. So right. So and look, last thing, right? The humanitarian aid, right, that has not been allowed to get through. I'm not going to get that article right now because I want to get into something else, get to the main crux of this lesson. Why we here? Why is this happening? Right? I'm going to want to show that in the scriptures. All right. But it says in Salakia, under the Geneva Convention, also and under international law, it is also a war crime to stop the flow of humanitarian aid. All right, and that's one of the things. Now, Biden, I hope maybe he said that to him. I really don't care. Right? Maybe he said that to Bibi Netanyahu while he was there. To me, it doesn't matter. Because again, that fight over land, it doesn't belong to either one of them. But they're not supposed to stop the flow of humanitarian aid. So those two war crimes right there, right? The stopping of water, the humanitarian aid, and the destruction of the water pipes, because they straight up destroyed it. All right. 3 war crimes right there. Right? I ain't even broke a sweat yet. All right. I haven't even broken a sweat yet, family. All right. Yeah, man. Hey, man. And Con Leo Davis, man. You right. They've always been animals, man. That's why the Lord called these heathens dogs, man. All right, man. And the Amalek, the Edomite, right, being the worst of all these animals, man. Like in that movie, these damn animals, man. And savages, man. Absolutely. So I got this article I want to bring up. It's going to tie directly into why this is happening, man. This conflict going on in the Middle East or the Levant. All right, again, hit that like button. If you ain't hit the like button, you better hit it right now. Hit it right now, man. All right. If you're watching live, drop a fire emoji in the chat for me. Come on now. That's the least you could do is hit the like button, man. And drop the fire emoji up in the chat. All right. You can't do nothing else. If you can't do nothing else, man, y'all can do that for me. It's like it, fam. All right. So, let me get this article up. The water, watch the water for everybody who dropping the bomb or the fire emoji in the chat and hitting that like button, man. The water to you, man. Right? Right? If you love the Most High, man, and you love your people, man, and you want them to get back into the kingdom, man, inherit their kingdom, right? Drop that fire emoji or that bomb emoji in the chat, man. If you love Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, drop that fire emoji up in the chat too. All right? If you love your people, man, Black, Hispanics, and Natives, man, drop that fire emoji up in the chat, family. All right? Let me make this screen a little bit bigger too, family. All right. All right. So we're going to do a little brief history lesson, right? We want to know, right, because it's going to tie into why this is happening. What was Palestine like before 1948? When I say Palestine, because that's what Israel was called prior to 1948. It was just called Palestine. Excuse me, Salakia. All right. All right, so it was called Palestine. So this is important. All right, so let's read some of this. All right. It says, it says, what was Palestine before 1948? Throughout history, the region known as Palestine has been a melting pot of different cultures and civilizations. Why has it been a melting pot? Because, first of all, everybody, I mean, the original inhabitants of the land were Hamites or Africans, Canaanites, all right, the Amorites, all right. Like it tells you in Genesis chapter 15, it says that Israel's not going to get the land because he wasn't ready to have his chosen line inherit that land yet. The Most High was not ready for that to happen yet. Why? Because the iniquity of the Amorites was not yet full. All right. Which, what did they do? Right? They doing what these Israelis and these Arabs is doing in the land right now. They child murderers. They talk. It tell you that in Wisdom of Solomon. Right? And Genesis 15 is where he tells Moses that the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet fulfilled. And then if you look in Second Ezra, I believe that is chapter 15, it tells you why. What those Amorites, those Hamites, those modern day Africans, what they were doing in that land. They were killing babies and sacrificing the idols and drinking blood, right? Killing babies, drinking blood, sacrificing the idols. Those are universal laws that Yahweh is not going to stand for. You're not going to kill babies. You're not going to be drinking no blood, and you're not going to be sacrificing, putting your babies through the fire to no damn idols. All right. So, but every nation, right, has had a part in that land, right? Then you had we came in, we took the land. Then you had the Syrians. Salakia, they didn't really come in and take over the land, but Israel had static with them, and they jacked up the northern kingdom, right, and took them into captivity. And then you had the Babylonians came in, more Hamites that came in and ruled. You had the Persians and Medes, those was Hamites and Elamites in tandem came in together, and they ruled over Israel, so they were there. Then you had the Greeks, Edomites, right? So right. Also, if you read in Judges, there were different times where the Moabites and the Ammonites, in different sects of the Ishmaelites, had Israel captive, all right, in the land of Israel, and had rule over the land. So everybody's had rule over the land. So that's why you could kind of say that it's a melting pot, but they're probably talking about more in modern terms. But I just wanted to bring that out. It said, however, the 6-Day War changed the landscape of the region forever. In this article, we'll take a closer look at Palestine 1940 and the lasting effects of the 6-Day War. All right. So let's read, right? It says the land of Palestine, a brief overview. Palestine is a geographical region located in the eastern Mediterranean. That's why it's called the Middle East, two directions, bordered by modern-day Israel, Jordan, and Lebanon, right? In part, it is part of a border area known, as I stated earlier, as the Levant, which has been a crossroad of various civilizations throughout history. Before 1948, let me see, I need to make this a little bit bigger. Damn, I can barely see that. Oh, man, hold on, Salakia family. I'm all jacked up. Okay, what? Let's go. Yeah, I need to make this a little bit bigger. All right, there we go. Lord willing, that's a little bit better for me. Hopefully, that's a little bit better for y'all too. All right. Let me see. Something, Salakia family. I don't want it like that, so I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. It's gonna have to work. All right, but it says Palestine is geographical. I've already read that. It says before 1948, Palestine was the home of a diverse population of Arab, Jews, and Christians, as all groups had religious ties to the area. No, they don't. No, they don't. The Arabs got daggone Mecca. All right, they should go to Mecca. All right, the real, these are talking about, these are white Jews, right? They should go back to Petra, which is Mount Seir, or the Caucasus Mountain, along with the rest of these heathen Christians, because that's a real melting pot. But the Christianity started in Rome, right, in the ancient Roman Empire. It got nothing to do with Christianity got nothing to do with the land of Israel or the Most High God, all right? By the way, it says all groups have religious ties to the area, especially the city of Jerusalem. How? How do they have ties? The only people who got real ties to it is the real Israelites. The land was only given to them. The Bible never gave the land to nobody else. It said that the Israelites, the Most High God promised Abraham, that his seed after him would possess from the Euphrates to the Nile. That's never been promised in the Bible. The scriptures, what this based on, to anybody else. But what they're talking about is that these people, different people, have dwelt in these lands because they either conquered it for whatever reason. All right, that's the Crusades. That was the Catholics. They conquered it, right? And you know, some fake Jews with that, and with that too. All right, and then the Arabs during the Arab conquest, they conquered that whole region, the whole Levant. That's how they had Israel as Palestine. All right. It says the land itself is under the control. Was under the control of various empires. I've stated that. They say that. I don't remember. They did have it for a little hot minute, but I did state them. The Assyrians. What I said, the Babylonians. Right. These not including Assyria, but these the four beasts. Right. The Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans. And the Byzantines, these is the Romans too. But Byzantine means black. So they were some with some Israelite rulers and some Hamitic and some Arab rulers of the Roman Empire. All right, this was later on. This was after the fall of Christ. And look, eventually, right, when they came in with the Islamic Arab or the Islamic Crusades, right, Islamic Caliphate and the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans, those are Edomites, but they mix with Arabs. All right, even though Arab literally means the mix. All right. Now here we're about to get to the point, the meat of this right here. All right, about to get to the meat of this thing right here. All right. So it says, in the aftermath of World War I, right? So this is after the First World War, right? Woe number one. Woe, woe, woe. Right? Right? And that third woe cometh quickly. All right? That's the Bible say, not my words, right? Blessed is he that readeth. Right? It says in the aftermath of World War II, World War I, the League of Nations, right? This is the precursor. The League of Nations would be the precursor to the United Nations. All right? To the UN, right? Granted Britain a mandate to administer, right? To be the administrator over Palestine. They're about to tell you what that is. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. All right. I'm gonna highlight something, man. Y'all better make sure y'all pay attention to this right here. Watch this, right? Right. Right. So the British mandate, I talked about that briefly earlier, right? Aimed to establish a national home for the Jewish people after World War I. These people who came out of Germany and Austria, they got nothing but no religious crime. We have to understand, right? When these people came in, these white people who were practicing Judaism, it's not like in modern terms where they can use their pseudoscience, their ancestry and their so-called DNA. In 1948, there was no DNA. All right, these were just people who were practicing Judaism, alleging that they went back to the ancient Israelites, therefore they had right to that land. And of course, the world's superpowers at that time being America and the Soviet Union, right? Which the Soviet Union, by the way, during that time was more friendly with America. But you have a lot of Jewish people who dwell there, right, up in that Eastern Bloc area, right, and Ukraine and all that, right, because Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union. That's why the president of the Ukraine is what? He's a so-called Jew. He's a Jewish man, all right? So to establish a national home for the Jewish people while also protecting the rights of the Arab majority. Whew, they did a terrible job at that. If y'all go on my Facebook, man, I shared this picture where they showed Palestine or Israel 1948 prior, and then how those Israelis have came in and basically genocide and pushed those people completely out their land. It's basically the same thing that went on here in America with the Native and Seminole Indians. All right, the Tainos, man, the real Israelites, all right? While protecting the rights of the Arab majority. However, tensions, right? It says, however, tensions between the Arab and the Jewish communities began to rise, of course, right? Leading to widespread unrest and violence. During the British Mandate, this is still during around World War II time. This is the early 20th century, the early 1900s, right? The idea of a separate Jewish and Arab state was proposed multiple times. However, the proposal was met with opposition from both communities, making it difficult for the British authorities to find a solution to the growing unrest. All right, boom. Here in 1947, the United Nations, right? Again, the League of Nations was the precursor to the United Nations, right? Proposed the partition. Watch this. I gotta highlight this right here. This is key, right? This is why this is happening, right? Right here. In 1947, the United Nations proposed the partition into a separate Jewish and Arab state, with Jerusalem as the internationally administered city. While the Jewish community largely accepted the plan, Arab community rejected it, leading to an outbreak in the Civil War. Of course they did. Why would they accept that? when they had that land, and then these people just come in saying that they the real people, but really got no proof, no claim, no ancestral claim, no practices of that culture going back over hundreds and thousands of years, right? They had no proof. That's why they like these Zionists are coming in here. The jig was in after World War I with the British mandates. They was already in there buying up the land. The jig was already in, family. Right, but look, it says that in 1947, the United Nations proposed the partition of the Palestine, which is Israel, into separate Jewish and Arab states. Man, who know if anybody know what precept I'm thinking of right now, man, put it in the chat. How this right here, right, all this that's going on ties directly back into the Bible and Bible prophecy. If you know, put it in the chat. If you don't know, but your bro is talking good and you're being edified, right, hit the like button first, all right? Share this video too, and then also subscribe, all right? Can you do that for your brother, all right? Can you please do that for your brother? Can you please? We're going to bring it home here in a second. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Man, I ain't seen nobody drop the precept in here yet. Nobody knows the precept to why this is going on, why this is important, why this conflict is brewing up. Now, I told y'all, one, because Yahweh keeps his eye on this part of the world, and it wouldn't shock me that the conflict that's going to start World War III, the third woe, is going to begin to flare up there, which you could also say the main thing that's going to get it flared up. We already got other smaller conflicts, like with Gog, the prince of Magog, of Meshach, right? Right now, right? That would be Vladimir Putin. We don't know if he's that biblical figure, but Lord willing he is, man, because we're praying, man, that our deliverance comes soon. All right, we're praying that we definitely praying that our deliverance comes soon. All right, but does anybody know, man? Anybody got any ideas, man, based on the 1947 United Nations Balfour Accord to partition, keyword partition, I'm giving y'all hints, partition Israel, or the land of Palestine, as it was called at that time, into two separate lands, right? Two separate states. Let's see. Nobody got it. All right. I mean, you know, it's all good, fam, if nobody don't got it, man. That's what your bro is here for, man. I'm here to edify. All right. All right. We're going to edify through the spirit, man. We're going to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. That's what I'm here for. I got a few more minutes. So we're going to bring this home. All right. We're going to bring this home. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it. But before I get that, right, the main precept, the major scripture, I should say, which they all major, right? Because our Heavenly Father, He major, right? And we His people, we major. All right. See what I did there, family? But if you know, that's Kanye, that's a Kanye West and Nas song called "We Major." All right, because we are, man. Because we are. Oh, somebody put it in there. All praises. I see somebody, they didn't put the scripture, but they put part of it. Oh, hey, I like that too. That Ezekiel 36:5. I like that too, right? But somebody else they didn't put the precept itself, but they put what it says in the chat. All praises. All praises. All right. All praises, man. So why is this happening? So First thing I want to get into why is this happening is this precept right here. So let me share my screen again. This is Revelations chapter 11. This is Revelations 11 and 18. All right, Revelations 11 and 18. Revelations, right, means to reveal, right? So verse 18, it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, right? The nations, all these heathens, right? United Nations, EU, NATO, the BRICS, right? All these nations angry, right? Thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, right? And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets and the saints, right? These are the Israelites, right? That fear thy name in this time, right? Small and great, whether you got a lot of a big status, you got a big name in Israel, you got a small name in Israel, whether you financially well off or you not, it doesn't matter. The thing is, you're supposed to fear Yahweh, right? That's the whole duty of man, right? Ecclesiastes, right? Chapter 12, verse 10. Whole duty of man, fear Yahweh, keep his commandments. It's very easy, family. Very easily, right? Right? God should have given rewards, right? Right? He's going to give man his reward according as his work shall be. Okay? Unto thy servants, the prophets, and the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great. Thou shouldest destroy them, here's the judgment, which destroy the earth. This is partly why the Lord's allowing all of this to stir up. All right? Because the Lord promised, man, that he was going to destroy them that destroyed the earth. It's just that simple. It is just that simple. All right? And then not only that, I got another precept real quick, right? Let's get this. Of course, Luke 21, right? Luke 21 and 24, all right? 21 and 24. This is the words of Yahweh Shah, right? The words of the Lord, right? It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, right? Let's read this in a different translation. I'll read this in the NLT real quick, right? It says, they will be killed by the sword and sent away as captives. Huh? That's what happened to the real Israelites, not those fakers who was just in everybody's land committing usury, getting kicked out. They weren't slaves in these lands. They wasn't not captives. Nobody was taking them captive by the sword, the so-called Jewish man. And man, no wonder they don't believe in the words of our Lord Yahweh Shai, but they will say allegedly believe in the Torah, but the Torah say that you're supposed to believe in the Messiah. You in a damn trick bag no matter what. All right? It says they will be killed by the sword and sent away as captives to all nations of the world. See that? Not again in all nations committing usury and getting kicked out, but taking great substance with you. Being one of the main funders of the slave trade and one of the first large, shout out to Deacon Hakad Sakari, he brings this out a lot, but I believe the first major plantation owners in the Caribbean, the Lesser Antilles. Okay? They was not led away captive into all the nations of this world. That's why it says the Israelites to be scattered to the four corners of the earth. The slave trade hit all four corners. They was taking slaves everywhere. All right? And then not to mention the atrocities that went on in the Americas with the Northern Kingdom, they were taking them to different places too. Right? It says, and Jerusalem will be trampled down. That's Israel. By who? This heathen's doing that right now. They trampling down Jerusalem, Israel, right now. This is why this is happening. Prophesize. Right? Y'all see that, family? Do y'all see that? right? It says that Israel will be trampled down by the Gentiles. Cool boy. Right? Until the period of the Gentiles comes to an end. That's right. What's going to bring that to an end? World War III and the return of a Mashiach. Right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, real name Yahushai. All right? Hey, and look, this is a good precept right here, right? It says that a bastard shall dwell in Asdod, right? The context this is talking about these Hamites, right? Because Asdod is talking about the city of the Hamites, all right? And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines, right? That's the transliteration word is Palestine, right? So it's telling you that there's not the real occupants, which are Hamites, the real Palestinians or Philistines are Hamites, Africans. So yes, there's a bastard dwelling in Ashdod. Right? These people are not supposed to be there. These are heathens. These are the Gentiles, right? Trodden down the land. Right? Right? Until the return of Mashiach, right? See that, family? Now I know we used to use this precept too, talking about using it for the fake Jews, but that's not what it's about. We don't got to do that. Right? It's not about the fake Jews. That precept's about Hamites, right? But it's still relevant to what's going on today. All right. So shout out to you. All right. Right. Herald of the Most High. All right. That's good, man. Be a herald of the Most High, man. That's what I'm trying to be too. All praises. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're about to wrap this up in a few minutes. I got a couple more precepts that I wanna get. Actually, really only one more, and we're gonna get ready to wrap it up, family, man. Appreciate y'all sticking it out with me, man. We're going on an hour and 45 minutes, right? I appreciate y'all sticking with me, all right? But this is the main cut. Now, remember, right? Let me go back real quick, right? Let me go back, right? Let me go back. Let me rewind it. Rewind. Let me see. Let me share my screen again. So let's go back to this article. All right, boom. Right. So it says in 1947, right? This is the main point. This is the main point on why this is happening. For real. I'm so serious, family. Right. Hey, Shalom, Ak, man. Hey man, y'all go over, man, and subscribe, man, to the brother Ash Rakar FOG's page, man. All right, man. Right. And he might even come with a surprise live for y'all tomorrow, man, on what's going on in this world, too, man. All right. Shout out to my big bro. All right, man. So y'all go over there, man, and subscribe to my bro's channel, man. And y'all might get, and make sure you hit the alert button so you're getting all the alerts. And if you subscribe to this channel, make sure you got all of the notifications on. All right. Make sure y'all do that. But you see this say right here? It says in 1947, United Nations proposed the partition of Palestine. Right? This is the whole crust of it right here. All right? This stuff really it is. Hold on one second, family. All right, Salakia family. So again, right, it says that it was an agreement for the partition of the land, right? So Salakia, excuse me, family. Whew. So let's get Joel chapter 3, and we're gonna start at verse 1. All right, let me share my screen. Here we go. This the main crux of it. Hey, right. Hey, nah, I mean, I appreciate all the support, everybody stopping by, everybody who watches live, man. It is really greatly appreciated, man. So I appreciate y'all sharing it, dropping the fire emojis and all that. Like it, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this out, man. Right. We want to teach our people and bring our people this truth, man. This is definitely important in the times that we currently find ourselves in, right? So this is Joel chapter 3. All right, and we're gonna start at verse 1. All right, so everybody with me. This is what everybody been watching for. They said, tie it to the Bible, Captain Azariah. Don't just be up there talking for 10,000 hours. Nobody wants to listen to you. I mean, y'all want to hear me, don't y'all? Right? Y'all want to hear your boy the Cap. All right, here for y'all, man. Right. So here we go. Right. It says, for behold, in those days and at that time, right? This is end time connotation. Nobody would argue that, right? Which applies to where we at right now in time, right? It says, for behold, in those days and at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. This is Old English, not literally talking about them being free from their captivities, right? It says, I will also gather together all nations. Right? The United Nations plan, right? That's all nations, right? Whew, all right. We just read that, right? It says, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Why? Right? And there, right? This is Armageddon. And there I will plead with them, right? All nations, right? For his people, right? And for his heritage, Israel. Now, this saying in the last days, right here, this is a cut, right? For his heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. This is saying that upon the arrival of Christ, that the Israelites weren't going to be in that land. That's what this Bible's saying. For all you Israelis out there who talk about you got to keep the Torah in the Tanakh. Well, this is in the Tanakh right here. One of the prophets. I bet you I wouldn't say Joel was a false prophet. He said that he's pleading with them at the valley of Jehoshaphat because for his heritage Israel, because they scattered them among the nations. That's the same thing. Joel prophesied this, right, that they will be scattered even before the Lord Yahweh prophesied directly what was going to happen in Luke 21 and 24. But the main cut is, what did they do? Because these nations parted, the United Nations parted the land of Israel. Hello, we just read that. Ain't that right, family? This is why this is happening. The Lord keep his eye on the land of Israel. They parted his land. He don't like that. And what they did, also, he said first to plead for his heritage, right? The Israelites who've been led into captivity and scattered to the four corners of the earth, right? Even though they're primarily in the Western Hemisphere in North and South America. All right? That's what it's about, man. That's why this is going on. They parted the one pit. Remember, we read that in 2 Ezra 5. Yahweh one pit, Jerusalem. That's Israel, right? Jerusalem is colloquially speaking about the land of Israel. He chose that land and they parted it. All right? Let's keep going. Why'd they do it? This is why they did it. Right? And they have cast lots for my people, right? And I've given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine, which so that they might drink. All right? This is why the Lord is allowing this to flare up, right? Because of what happened, the scattering, you know what I'm saying, and the oppression, right? Of his chosen people, of the children of Israel, right? As he says in verse 2. Right, he got to plead with all nations, the United Nations, right, for his people, for his heritage, Israel, right, whom they have scattered. They're not in their homeland. And then what did they do? They parted up Israel. Her, you take this and you take that. Don't belong to none of them. The Bible said that the real Israelites weren't going to be there in the last days. All right, family? All right, so like I said, that is the main point. All right. I did have some more stuff. I may get into it in my next lesson, man, that I wanted to bring out, man. But for y'all reading, man, if y'all want to, I say I got a couple of precepts. I'm gonna try to maybe do this at the end of my lessons. If y'all like this, you know what I'm saying. This is things that apply to this lesson right here. So for your reading, read Joel chapter 3. All right. Also read Isaiah chapter 14, verses 1 through 4, and then jump down to verse 21. Read it in alternate translations if you can. Right. And if you part of FOG and you watching this, man, this required reading, y'all better be reading this right here. All right. Isaiah chapter 61. You can start at verse 1, but main verse 4 is the point. Read it also in alternate translations. All right. Last part of reading, stuff that you can read again that applies to this lesson and this topic, right? You want to be more informed. Ezekiel chapter 36. All right, Ezekiel chapter 36, start at verse 23 and read to the end of the chapter. All right, it's going to talk about, you can see how it's prophesied that Israel was going to take damage, man. That when the children of Israel returned, that the city was going to be waste city, that was going to have to be reconstructed and rebuilt. That's currently what's going on with the bombing in Gaza, and also the bombings that that the Hamas and the Hezbollah are doing to Israel, right? So it's all shaping up Bible prophecy. Ezekiel, the last one again is Ezekiel chapter 36, and you start at verse 23 and read to the end of the chapter. All right. All praises to the Heavenly Father. Amen. And shout out to the leader of this organization, man, my brother, who I affectionately call the general because he's the leader of this organization. All right. But the brother Ash Ricard and this Yapa Ricard. All right. Hey, man. So go over, man. Also support Black businesses, man, and support our sister's YouTube page, too. She got beautiful thing for any of the sisters for your ribs. Y'all can share this with them, too. All right. It's called Yapa Speak. All right. I think it's Yop Speak. Salakia, let me get it right. I think it's Yop Speak. Hey, Yop, if you're still in the comments, you're still watching, correct me if I'm wrong about that, or brother Ash, the general. All right, but go over, man, and support her YouTube channel too. It's for the sisters. All right. So go over for that, man. Get your ribs in tune with that for all of the brothers who watching. And then go over to Esti, to Bakarko. All right. Right. Bakar in the ancient Paleo Hebrew means choose. So we like to choose to support Black businesses. All right. And Khan, Kwam Yasharala. All right. Kwam Yasharala. All right. Here we go. Thank you there, brother Ash. It's Yapa Ricard Sisters Only, Salakia. I had it all wrong. I thought it was called Y'all Speak, Salakia. But here we go, family. All right, it's Yapa Ricard Sisters Only. All right, sisters only. It's not for you brothers. All right, man. And she shares a lot of good, helpful information for the sisters, man. To keep you in your keep your feminine energy right. Okay. All praises to the Heavenly Father. Hey, the water to you too, Malak. All right. So again, go over to Bakar also. All right, and make sure y'all support the Black businesses, man. The beautiful Slakia, the beautiful Zeets. Lord willing, y'all can see them. Maybe I should make my screen bigger so I can see what's going on. All right. All right, Salakia, let me stop sharing my screen too. Let me stop this. There we go. There we go. All right. So also, man, the beautiful zeets that she hand makes. All right, I got on my black zeets with the lily work on it today. So shout out to Bakar wearing Sister Yapa. And here we go again. Right, the water. Hey, no problem, sisters. For my sisters, please. Right, it's Yapa Rakar. All right, for the sisters only. So brothers, y'all share this again with y'all ribs, man. Get your ribs in tune with this channel right here. All right, it is a YouTube channel. Again, as I said, the beautiful Bakar wear. They got the beautiful shirts, the beautiful seats, and other items up there for our people, man. So let's support the Hebrew Israelite businesses. All right. All right, amen. So, hey, man, we're going to give all praises to the Heavenly Father. Salakia. We're going to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, man. So, Kohallah, Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai family. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Lord willing, man, I definitely will be back next Thursday, as y'all know. Check again, like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the brother Osh Ricard's channel too. He may be going live with a special live stream for the family tomorrow. So y'all may catch the brother Cap's face again tomorrow on that for a bit. All right. Hey, man, but I'm going to be chilling, relaxing, man, and getting ready for the Shabbat. All right. All right, man. So early pre-Shabbat Shalom to y'all family. All right. And with that, I'm going to get ready to close this thing out. Again, appreciate everybody stopping by, and on your way out, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. All right. Please hit the like button. All right. Hey, and man, so again, support the ministry if you can. There goes our Cash App. And if you're looking, brothers or sisters, for brothers especially, for a place to do the work, but sisters, if you're looking for people to network with, we can definitely do that, man. So again, appreciate you. Shout out to everybody who's watching, who watch live. All right. Definitely appreciate the support. With that, hey, I'm gonna just say Shalom.